They will try to understand the idea of the spiritual source, spiritual idea of our life. You probably know, for sure, that everything has the idea, and there is example to this idea. And when we talk about our family, we know that they are like they represent some idea. For example, we know that there is a way of our connection to Hashem. This is like a natural way. The way that we love Hashem by our nature. And there are a lot of people in this world that they believe in God, not because they learn something about their faith, not because they analyze, they choose to be religious. No, they just believe, and that's it. I think majority of the people in the world, they believe. Why? Because they feel something, or they grow up like this. They never choose their faith. And this kind of religion, this kind of faith, in Judaism it calls brother. Why brother? Because you never choose your brother. And you cannot quit to be his brother. You can hate him, but he will be your brother for all your life. So this kind of relation to a God, to God, we call brother. There is another way to relate to God. It's when you choose your faith. You say, I don't feel anything. I wasn't grow up as a religious person, but I analyze my life. I see our history. I see that there is some order in nature, and after my thinking, I came to conclusion that there is a God. And this kind of faith, in Judaism, it calls friend. Why friend? Because you choose your friend. And if your friend not good for you anymore, he is already not your friend. He can be an enemy. So the same way how we can relate to God. We choose our faith, but if you will prove me different approach, and you prove me that I did mistake, and those arguments, those ideas that brought me to Judaism, they were wrong, I will quit be a religious Jew. Like I finished, be friend of someone. That is second way of connection to God. There is another way that I aware that God is my source, that He create me. And if I understand that He create, so I am a result of His will. how this kind of connection goes in. What do you think?
Could you elaborate on the question a little bit more?
Again?
Or could you elaborate on the question a
Yes,
little bit
yes.
more?
My connection to my friend, you understand. My connection to my brother, you understand. How I will name a connection to God that I realize that He is my source. Father, mother.
Well, there's more than just that. You know, for instance, we have Avinu Malkeinu.
Yes.
So that right there is is describing two totally different relationships.
Yes,
He's
yes.
Avinu, my father.
Yes,
Malkeinu,
you're
my
right.
king.
You're right. Okay? And how you will define your connection to God that you want to be one with God?
I guess it would be like marriage.
Yes, exactly. This is a marriage. Exactly. And now it's a difficult question.
They come they also like as father and son, like husband and wife, like friend. As Hashem said, Moshe is my friend, and I made a seal face to face, and and how many relations?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're right. They are all kind of relations.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. We are not related to Hashem in one way, like He is our Father, He is our King, He is our friend. Different kind of relations. And how you will define this, our faith, when we understand that we want to be together, we want to be connected, but we also want to have our privacy, that we are not always in infinity. We also have our life that divided in some way from God. That is a way that calls in Judaism, it calls neighbor. Neighbor is also kind of relation. It's close to relation, so close that this neighbor sit now behind this wall in far 2 meters from me all my life. But the fact that there is something that divide between us, that we call neighbor. And okay. Now, if we understand that there is all kind of faith that have this its presence, it's like appears through our connection with other people, friends, brothers, mothers, parents, and this and that, right? But we should understand the fact that we have our brothers and our neighbors and our parents and our spouse. All those, it's not because this is reality, and our faith is like an example or of this kind of relationship. It's opposite, because God appear in our world as source of everything. That's why we have father and mother. Hashem create reality in this way that we have parents. But you understand that he has different opportunities, he had different possibilities how people will appear in this world. For example, like amoebas. Amoeba, you know what amoeba? It like just some cells. They divide. We can also bacteria. Exactly. They divide themselves. And we also could appear in this world by our somebody that divide and appears in different ways, with no father, with no mother. You understand? We get used that this is reality that we live. And in this reality we function, we do something, all kinds of things. But we should but try to get out of reality. Try to look on your life from outside. You understand? We get used to the fact that we have sun and moon, and there is water, that we breathe air and all kinds of things. But you aware that the fact that we breathe, somebody decided. We couldn't exist without breathing, like fishes, like a child in a mother's womb. It doesn't breathe and it exists. It's not. There is like a different way of function, of creation, of being this world. And if Hashem create the sky is blue and not orange, or plants are green and not white, it means that there is some idea that stand behind those things. And all our life, our relationship with our brothers, sisters, and grandmother, all that is way of Hashem's revelation in this world. And that how we can fix, or this is the way how we can fix the destruction of our temple. Our temple was destroyed because second temple, because unjustified hatred. But so how you can rebuild? By the way how you'll find how to relate between people, our connection with other people. This is the way how we revealed Hashem in the right way. And if you love your neighbor, it means that you revealed Hashem in good way. And that how you rebuild a temple.
So
again, yes, please.
It was destroyed with unjustified hatred. To rebuild it, maybe you could say you have to have unjustified love.
Love, yes. It's a very famous expression of Rav Kook. Yes. Yes, you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And now, after that we understand that, we can also... Shalom.
נועם שהגיע מטורונטו, בדק ישיבה, לא הסתדר שם, מה שמכון מאיר זה מיוחד.
מעולה. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So after that we understand this idea, we also understand that this world, it's Hashem's revelation to us. And who is me, who is you? It's your revelation. It's a revelation of God to the world. World is His revelation to you, and you is a revelation to the world. And that's why it's so important what kind of people we are. Because if you are a righteous person, you revealed Hashem in this world in good way. You like a evident of Hashem's goodness in the world. You are a witness of His goodness. And if you bad, it's not you steal something. It's my problem. I did that. It's I'm bad. No, in this way I like prove that Hashem bad. Chaz v'chalila. I represent God's imperfection.
But God isn't imperfect.
Pardon?
Last couple of years ago, you said God is perfect. How can He be imperfect? I don't understand.
Yes. It's a good question, and
It's
we talk
perfect
about
in
that.
the way that we see it, that it's not
Yeah.
perfect.
Listen. We talk about that a lot of times. A lot, but still, if you ask a question, I have to answer. But I'm sorry that those that already heard those answers, that I say it again. It's known, it's famous mistake to think that God is perfect. It's mistake. Why to say about God it's a mistake that He is perfect? It's because there are few reasons. First reason, that what you have in your mind of perfection, it's nothing compared to God. There is very famous piece in Gemara in Masechet Brachot in page 31 that says that once some guy came, he prayed to Hashem in presence of Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa, and he prayed and he says, God is big and beautiful and powerful and He's wonderful, and he said all kind of things. And Rabbi Hanina says to him, it was very bad that you said that about God. He says, why? He says, because it's like to say about someone that he, some like a professor, you say about, he know how to read. He even read 3 books. In Gemara it's written, he's very rich, has no end of gold, and you say he has a lot of silver. And Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa says, this is not just not enough towards him. It's something that I don't know how to say it in English. I don't say it's gnai hulo. It's gnai. It's like you neglect it. It's like it's something.
Say it in Russian, you can translate.
Huh?
Say it in Russian, you can translate.
In Hebrew, no. I don't know in Russian. It's gnai. It's it's you say something like you abuse. It's a God abuse of God when you say something about Him that you know. And this guy said, but we always all our tefillah says all kind of good words towards God. He says yes, but all that in condition that the prophet told us that this is his Hashem Agadol Gibor Vanora, that he Almighty, for example. Who said that Hashem Almighty? Prophet, and it's also not enough. There were in other prophets that they say it in tefillah, and you say what you think. You grew great. You strong. You wise. You are you beautiful. It's abuse, and that's why we don't say that God is perfect, because your perception of perfect is much less, or is nothing, comparison to God's perfection. It's first idea. Yes, please.
It's like Melch David says, to you Hashem silences praise.
Again, it's like what?
Melch David says, to you Hashem silences praise.
Yes.
In Tehillim.
Yes. Lecha dumia tehila. Imru bilvavchem al mishkavchem vedom usela. Yes, it's better to keep quiet about God, but we have no choice. We have to talk about Him. So that's why when we talk, immediately, when we talk, we know that it is not. Everything that we say about God, we know automatically that it is not true. For example, we say that God is almighty. If He is almighty, He has to be able not to be almighty. Otherwise, He is not almighty. I know that it's a little bit difficult to understand, but I'll try. You understand. All God's attributes, they are paradoxical. What does it mean paradoxical? It means that it consists in idea of itself, something that opposes this idea. For example, Almighty. If He is Almighty, it means that there is something that He is not able to do. What He is not able to do? To be not able. To be not able. It's paradox.
So you can say Hashem is paradox.
Yes, exactly. In any our talking about Hashem, in any our definition, that's a wrong definition. Because in moment that you defined Hashem, you put some frames to Hashem. Frame, it means idolatry. Because idolatry is not something that exotic things that people with feather jump through the fire. It's not idolatry. Idolatry, it's definition. When you limit Hashem to something that you are able to touch, to see, to understand, this is idolatry. When you say that God is almighty, you limit Hashem, you deny from Him ability to be not able. And that's why in Judaism, when we say that Hashem something, it doesn't make a difference what we say, something about God. We understand that it's just definition. It's not really true. Like when it's written that Hashem took us from Egypt with strong hand, B'yad chazaka u'bezroa netuya. We don't believe that really there comes some piece of hand from heaven and took us and bring us. We understand that it's metaphora. The same as metaphora is Hashem perfect or Almighty, and that's why Hashem said about himself that he is limited. How he limited? In the way when he say, I swear to you, Bi nishbati neum Hashem, Bi nishbati, I swear something by my name, it means that Hashem cannot do something. Shalom. Think about any time that Hashem swear, he limit himself. He says, yes, but he can break his limitation. He can break his swear, right? It's not swear. It's you can break.
Что это значит swear?
Vow. It's promise.
Wow, promise.
I didn't say it right. It's
It's okay.
how is it in English? Swear.
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 Oh, he swears to you. No, because swear could also mean когда ты скажешь плохое слово. It has two meanings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You understand? So Hashem limit himself in order to be Almighty. This is the like example of paradox, and this kind of paradox exists in any Hashem's attribute, as a good, as a infinite, or perfect. If he is only perfect, so it means that he cannot be better than he is. What's his name? Huh?
What's his name?
What's your name? Ariel? Ariel, you've heard my last sentence, what I said? No, listen again. Listen. If he is perfect, it means that he cannot be better than he is. You agree with me?
That's very. I think I agree.
You understand? That's why you came to this lesson, in order to learn how to think.
Yeah.
It's a philosophy of Judaism. This is a lesson that calls philosophy of Judaism. We talk here about things that not something that I tell you something that's written. It's a way of thinking. So think logically. Don't trust to what you know before. Think logically. If he is perfect, he cannot be better. And if he cannot be better, it's limited, and it's already imperfection. And that's why we never say that Hashem is perfect in Judaism. In other religions, they say all the time, because they are idolatry. They believe in idols. They define God. And we says that he is perfect, and also he is able to improve. Yes, it's difficult to understand. That's why it's a paradox. But part of real perfection, its ability to be better. And
this idea can be agreed by all rabbi.
again,
All rabbi agree.
with what I say,
agree
yes,
with
all
idea.
Rabbi, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Rabbi, but in our Siddur, we always
Yes,
define God.
yes.
How to justify God.
That's why I tried to explain before, but I say it again. Everything that it's written in Siddur or in Tanakh, and that you shouldn't understand literally, because it's written that Hashem's cry. It's written, or it's written that Hashem is laughing, or he has legs, or hands, eyes. Even it's written that he has a hat. Chavash kova Yeshua al rosho. Pardon?
No. What?
It's not.
Oh, it's metaphor.
Yes.
That he has a salit.
Yes, exactly. All that, just a moment. All that is anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism, it means that we relate to Hashem's our words, because we have no language, no words, no possibility to express what he is. And that's why we use all kind of things, metaphors or allegories or hyperbolas, all kind of, there are different kinds. But when we say that Hashem be said, and it's written in Parashat Bereshit, Hashem was said, we understand that it's not. It's just expression. And everything that you say in tefillot, when you read, you have, this is your idea of learning Torah. That's why it's not enough in Judaism to pray or to obey or to do what it's some commandments. It's not an ideal that you just do mitzvot, commandments, and you say right words and everything. Then and that you'll be good Jew. It's not enough to be good Jew. In order to be good Jew, you have to learn, and to learn it means to understand intellectually and analyze and think and try to understand what it's written in Siddur. It's not enough to read what it's written. Okay? And we go back to what we talked before. Our life, it's just a moment. I think what to say, to how to explain it. Okay. So what we do believe, what is our faith is, we believe that and when we understand all what we say now, we understand that even and also to say about God that God exists, it's also limitation. Why it's limitation? It's because everything that we know existence, not absolute existence. Like when you say God exists like this pen exists, and God exists also.
But you said that saying God exists is Avodah Zarah, because it's defining, etc.
Exactly.
So
If you say that God exists, you limited him to your perception of existence.
what do we say he exists? But we also subsequently acknowledge that we can't comprehend Hashem, how he exists, where he exists. We just say that Hashem exists because for creation has a creator. Otherwise, we can't deny Hashem's existence because that's kefira. Right? So how do we go about acknowledging Hashem's existence and being respectful to him and being a Shomer Torah without doing the Avodah Zarah that you were talking about?
It's when we say exist, we understand that it's the same definition, like we say that God see or hear.
How is it the same?
It's not true. God doesn't see, doesn't hear in a way that we think what it is seeing or hearing.
So it does it in his own way. And
Because just a moment, because we see by some equipment, by our eyes, by some tools, and God perceived reality without seeing, without any equipment.
It's like the language of man, but it's beyond. All these words are just the only thing we can use to describe.
So can we say that the
Existence is also any existence. When everything that exists, you immediately will ask where. This exists in this room, and this room in Machon Meir, and Machon Meir in Jerusalem in Earth, and Earth in galaxy, and galaxy in meta-galaxy. But where is exist everything? Everything doesn't exist. You cannot say existence towards everything, because you immediately will have to answer it where.
Put it in a box.
Well, can't we just admit or concede that we don't know where everywhere is, and we just cannot comprehend everywhere?
Yes, of course, that's what we say. Exactly. We don't know, and we have no any explanation, but we don't relate to God as somebody, not somebody in idea like some man or somebody, and also not some body. He's not some body, and not something, because he is not thing. So what we do believe, we believe that everything has infinite value, goddess value. Not that there is some wisdom exists in heaven. Everybody understands that we don't believe in some guy with beard like a Zeus. Yes, we don't need anymore. No? But we do believe that he is some power, or some will, something abstract that exists in somewhere, and from somewhere he conduct this world. He do something to us. But there is somebody or something like this that. But immediately when you think about this something like this, that is limitation, because it's some idea, limited idea. And only when we understand that everything is God. And
Everything is God. Is that
everything, but it's also not enough. Everything. And source of everything. And above everything. And altogether, it's still doesn't define him, but it's just some expression that the more delicate, more spiritual, more accurate expression of our faith, that we can say about God. The best thing is it's silence.
So creation is within the so the creation is an aspect of the creator, basically.
Exactly.
So we can't ask. They say that Hashem is everywhere because everywhere is creation, which is limiting Hashem. Hashem is beyond creation as well.
And creation and beyond creation as well,
He's not just the creator.
Exactly. Yes.
So everywhere is limited because that's our perceivable universe, but Hashem is not contained inside the perceivable universe. Because trying to contain something infinite is Avodah Zarah.
And the universe, it's in Hashem, but not Hashem in universe. Chazal said, En olam mikomo, but hu mikomo shel olam. And what it means, that everything that happened here, now, in this moment, it happened in God. You understand? God is he's not in some place, spiritual place. Because if he's in spiritual place, the place is bigger than him. It contains him. It's everything, above everything, source of everything. And also that is not, but it's close definition, if you can say. Yes, please?
So, when we say Baruch Shem Kavod Nimkama, what's the meaning about that?
Yes, again, everything that we say, what it's written in Chazal, or in Gemarot, or in Tfilot, Sidur, this is just aspect. It's aspect of our relation to Hashem. We relate to Him as a father. But you understand that He is not father. But you call our Father were created in this way in order that we will know what doesn't mean Hashem's fathering. You understand? Our world is represent Hashem, but it's not Hashem. It just represent. And we learn from our connection with other people, from a construction of reality, of universe, of atom and molecules and cells and all that are. This is the way how Hashem revealed Himself in reality and how we perceive. But we understand that it's much, much, much more. Like now, in this moment, you hear me and you understand what I mean. We have an interaction now, but you understand that I, much more than what is sitting here. You don't know me as a father, as a grandfather, as a soldier in Israel army, or kind of as a driver. You don't know me. But you understand that there is something above what you see now. But we can have interaction. This is our relation to the world. The world is a connection, is a way how we relate to Hashem. But Hashem, it's not that much more. It's something, it's all. And above the all. Okay, we'll stop that.